Um, the kickoff hour 3. Hey, Parlay Pete, real quick before we jump into culture, I'm wearing this NF shooting shirt to pay homage to a basketball coach I had. His name's Buck Rogers. He passed away 2 nights ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, super sad, man. And he was definitely more than a basketball coach. One of the biggest things he talked to us about was grade 13. It's like, when this high school shit's over and you got to grow up and be a man, you got to be prepared for grade 13. And I will say, of our team of, let's just say 15 guys over about a 4-year span, only 2 are fuck ups. Everybody, we fell different parts of the spectrum, but he used basketball as a way to mentor us. He was just like, yeah, y'all niggas like to play basketball. Cool. We'll go out here, we'll play basketball. But I'm really trying to make sure that y'all become men and become productive men. Like, I remember I was late for practice one Saturday after we had a party fundraiser, right? We threw because it was a part of a nonprofit, so we weren't paying a lot of money to play. Threw a party, raised some money because they have a building. So it's like, let's get some hoes in here, shake some ass, you know what I mean?
All right.
And he told me a grown ass man don't stay in bed after 9. And mind you, I drink, so sometimes I stay in bed after 9. Trust and believe.
Yeah.
But it really sat with me because it's like, yeah, no, you a grown ass man. You
got
probably
responsibility.
You got some shit to do. Get your ass out the bed and go be somebody.
Well, and for the most part, unless you genuinely oversleep, you should want to get your day started. Like, you know what I mean? I know for me, it's one of those things. I typically am up. I have to get more out of school by 7:30.
Yeah.
So, I'm up. Like, even now, Boink. I can tell Boink's ass gets up pretty early. Once, because when I woke up and I saw y'all's his text and it was like 5:30, I'm like, God damn, like. Because I feel like I'm like, well, Boink, you didn't. The first thing that you did this morning wasn't wake up and send that text.
No, so
your teeth and shit, and then you sent it. Like,
I talked to Boink today. He got off from work at like 2:30, so he went into work early today.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So like, as a grown ass man, you get the fuck up and you go be somebody.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, if you're hungover, it's different. But it's also dependent upon what you have to do the next day. Like, we often sleep in on Sunday mornings before Falcons games. Yeah. But sometimes
Saturday night didn't end until Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's like sometimes Saturday night ends at 5 o'clock, and it's like, nigga, I might get up at 8:30.
Well, more importantly, because if I do, then I'm going to be no good at I don't want to be no good at a Falcons game. Like, I want to be able to cheer. I want to be able to be alive at the game. I don't want to look like I'm hungover at a football game.
And I don't want to watch the Michael Vick, Peter Schrager pregame show either.
Exactly.
I offer nothing being awake.
I'll get up just enough time to where I could take some more shots, maybe throw something on my stomach and catch, Howie, Terry, Michael, Kurt, giving their picks. That's what I want to catch. And then, I'll get to look at this upcoming season. It'll get to be Kirk Cousins. But, last year we get to see Desmond Ridder warming up, knowing goddamn well that we're about to fucking lose this football game. Like, there's a good chance we're not going to win today. Like,
all right, man. So I want to start culture with this one right here. And I'm going to play it because it needs to be played. Let me go to Instagram user. Deactivated account ass nigga.
I feel like I know what you're about to play.
And I might make this a segment, That's that shit I don't like.
And to the women that have men, to the women who have friends that have men, I want you to know, I do not want you. I do not want your man. This continues to happen to me where I will just be speaking to a man and either he or his girl or his girl's friend will say something to me like, oh, well, I really need to get back to my girlfriend. She's going to be upset that I'm talking to you. Why would she be upset? I cannot stress this enough. I am not flirting with you. I am not flirting with your man. I am not flirting with your friend's man. If I'm speaking to you, human being, I'm doing just that.
All right, man. Before you go, I want to address this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Joy, you give big single vibes here.
Big. I don't want to be single anymore.
Yeah, you also give some insecure vibes here. So, as an insecure single woman, you should put your mind in a insecure woman in a relationship, or a woman in a relationship who maybe with a guy who's a little flirty, a guy who may be Mr. Bitches. Him talking to you for too long and him saying, hey, I got to get back to my girl so she ain't tripping. He doesn't think you're flirting. He knows y'all are just having a kosher conversation. But his girl ain't hearing none of that shit. Why she laughing? Why she smiling? What was you over there saying?
How do you know her?
Yeah, bro, we went to college together. Oh, we worked together. Oh, I've met her on the scene. Oh, you met her on the scene? What does that mean? I was at a party and she was at a party.
Why didn't you introduce me? Why didn't she come over? Why didn't she ask you who you were with? And why didn't you point at me? Like,
it's like she's just being so ignorant to how women can act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've dealt with serious women in our lives. I mean, shit, I'm married.
Well, that's as serious as it gets.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I've been in totally kosher situations, talking to a woman, and my wife can be next to me. Like, she hears the entire conversation. And that conversation went too well for her.
Yeah.
What you making these bitches laugh for? Nigga, I'm funny. The fuck?
I forgot, was this interview on the Too Personal podcast?
It's on our podcast with Taylor Rooks. I don't know the name.
That's what it's called.
But Joy Taylor is on this mission to like uproot these societal norms. And she's gonna fucking lose. It's like, dog, for one, it's not that deep. The dude is just telling you, hey, bro, I gotta get back to my girl. Or maybe you being laughy, ha 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 ha, is perceived to be flirting. Hey, you know what? We misread signals sometimes. I can imagine in your life, you thought a girl was fucking with you and she wasn't. And other times you could have thought like a girl wasn't fucking with you at all.
And they definitely
finally like, so you're gonna fuck me? And it's like, I mean, yeah, I thought we was just chilling. Like I wasn't like I wanted to, but like I ain't pressing it. And we were just having good conversation and shit. And like I typically have good conversation. So I didn't know if this meant anything. And she's just like, oh, no, I'm moist.
Yeah. That it's definitely both situations have happened, vice versa. Thought somebody's feelings weren't somebody you didn't even expect was you were the whole time. But
dog, I'll tell a story. This was before I was married, before I was dating my girlfriend. I mean, she was my wife. Jesus Christ. Before I was dating my wife, when she was my girlfriend. Well before. I kicked it with a chick one night. She stayed in my crib till like 6, 7. I make a move around like 4:35 because like, yo, nigga, it's late. This is well past my bedtime. And she like, yo, nigga, chill. Cool. I see her again. And because she's a good hang. So like I'm not gonna like not kick it with a good hang just because I ain't getting no cheeks.
Yeah.
We're talking, whoop the whoop, whoop the whoop. And then she just comes out, nigga, you gonna fuck me or not? And I go, well, last time I tried, you was like chill. She was like, well, I was in a situation, whoop the whoop the whoop. I was like, oh, well, you know, your situation meant nothing to me, so I don't know these things.
Right. I
Got
would
it.
have known that anyways, but you're at my house and it's this late. Anyways, take off your pants, bitch. Like,
Yeah, so then the night 2, oh yeah, I'm about to sting you. And then I'm gonna wake up in the morning, I'm gonna sting you again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but it's situations like that. And when you have like years of those types of situations, you just be like, dog, I'm confused. And especially when you with your girl talking to a pretty girl that she don't know, right? You just trying to be. I really don't even want to talk to you, but because I know you, I rock with you. You may be somebody like it's for joy. You're important in this industry. So if I'm in this industry,
yeah.
I gotta talk to you when I see you. I can't have you being like, bro, this nigga acting funny in front of this girl. But like, I really don't want to speak to you because I don't want to have to go over here and explain this nothing that's something to her.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how as a woman, she doesn't get it.
You know, my biggest takeaway is Joy, get over yourself. You know, get over yourself. Everything's not about you. All right. You're not you of course you're the main character in your story, but you're not the main character in everybody's story. Get over yourself. It's not always about you when somebody's around you. And how often are these situations really coming up, Joy? And I get it, you're famous, you go to probably a lot of events and stuff, but how often is that really happening? This bitch makes it sound like it happens every time she's out. That somebody thinks she's trying to fuck their man, and every guy thinks that she's flirting with them. Like, does it really happen that often, Joy?
I mean, maybe it does. Maybe Joy has been the backdoor shorty fucking married men and niggas with girlfriends. So now she gets
That
the
would be the
side
only
eye.
reason why anyone would think that, though. That's what I'm saying. How is this happening every time you step out? Like,
I mean, this is also the same woman who said she'd rather be in the forest with a bear than a man.
Joy's got to get over herself, man. It's not healthy. All right, it's not healthy to.
It's not giving.
It's not, and it's not healthy. She's got to get over herself. Every situation's not about her, you know.
No, it's not. And
Joy, just get your pipe when you can. I mean, whoever it is, somebody's piping you. Somebody's piping her.
probably in his 50s.
Yeah, just be happy with the pipe. Yeah, some salt and pepper nigga in Miami, right? Something like that.
No, somebody in LA who's gonna take her to the next level.
Which is, what do you think the next level for Joy Taylor is?
Headlining her own show, maybe.
But how? Like how? Because Elle Duncan's got her own show on ESPN.
Do you watch it?
No, but that's because I think it comes on like ESPN2, and it's on like ESPN radio mainly.
Got it.
But she does have her own show, the Elle Duncan show.
Speaking of Elle Duncan,
Elle's put her time in. We know that personally, being from here. That Elle put her time in.
yeah. But speaking of Elle Duncan, Andrea Carter started to grow on me a little bit. Her cheekbones and jawline were a little strong for me. But I went perusing through the IG, and I'm like,
Justice is a big fan of Andrea Carter.
She's growing on me now. Ngakwe, whatever her name is, she's not. And what's her name's actually growing on me? McNutt. McNutt got a butt.
McNutt could get a little McNutt, is what you're saying.
No, absolutely not. I am a synsexual.
Well, everybody really wants a piece of Molly Querum, right?
I'm not a Molly fan. Molly was ugly before she got to work.
But I'm just saying, but Molly is the poster child of who everybody wants to sleep with at ESPN.
Well, the way she and Stephen A flirt.
Actually, Malika is actually
they can't touch her.
Well, exactly. So that's ruined her in a weird way. It hasn't ruined her because the moment that that doesn't work, she's gonna get the suitors, but like Molly, everybody knows that Molly will fuck niggas. Like it's a known fact.
Yeah,
right?
she married Jalen Rose for a little while.
Yeah, right. And think about the type of nigga that you think Jalen Rose is.
No. I'm not thinking about the type of person I think he is. I watched the Freak Dick documentary, and he's from Detroit, and he was on it.
Yeah. So exactly. Talking about going to a rim shop to fucking sleep on the floor, like. Not to mention, oh well, if you watch any of the Fab Five shit,
nah, Jalen Rose was him.
Well, yeah, the nigga wore a red suit to the draft. You know, he was Detroit Red. He was.
So you watched the Freaknik documentary?
I did.
So I finally watched
what the city used to look like, man.
I finally watched it over the weekend. How crazy is it to you to know that where we went to college means so much to Black culture?
It is crazy.
It is surreal. Like, I mean, we were walking around campus with Metro.
Correct. You know, one of the things that I've always taken
You
away.
gotta see me, right?
What was that?
I was getting off of Andrea Carter's Instagram page, and I the volume's on, so a video was up.
Yeah. As long as it get you a Molly video up, but
I'm good. No Molly over here.
yeah.
24 niggas still doing Molly, bro. Y'all are junkies.
One of the things that stood out to me, because even I asked, you know, when that stuff initially came about, the DC club or whatever it was, you know, that's when my dad was there. Like my dad and mom, they were in school when that was happening. You know, the original one, the 80s aspect of it.
Oh, that's dope.
And so it to me is interesting because I'm like, damn, so this would, you know, y'all are having barbecues. Like that was like, I get it. Niggas still have barbecues today. Like barbecues are still really relevant in nigga culture. Like everybody.
But hip hop doesn't take over our barbecues and Uncle Luke and Too Short.
Yeah, and some ass.
Freaky ass niggas
from everywhere.
Yeah, nah, we don't have ass at our barbecues. We just have cocks. Pause.
Yeah.
A lot of hard legs.
Brews.
Hard legs, brews, beer pong. Not really a lady environment because you're gonna get ignored.
Yeah. Well, unless you're not wearing anything.
I don't go to those.
Well, when it's hot outside, you know, people start not wearing as much. So
I go like in the fall and early spring where we still got a nice breeze and everyone's fully clothed and possibly wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, so you don't like it when it's like a pool party barbecue type vibe.
Absolutely not.
Not a good place for those like you. Huh?
No, there's nothing for me at a pool party.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only worked on getting abs for the last 6 months for no reason, but like, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
there's nothing there. Huh?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it'll be a cold day in hell, I guess, the next time you're there. But
fucking right, boy.
But yeah, it's the fact that there is a culture significance there, and you know, just this being the place that everybody wanted to be. Like it's Killer Mike said it best, I think, in it. You know, he was like, Atlanta was the shit before that, and it's gonna be the shit after that. Like, because when you break Atlanta down, I mean, even your boy K-Dot, right? He's like, see, Atlanta was the home. like, because Atlanta has always had that cultural significance, obviously with MLK, like, but civil rights being just so relevant here, and this being kind of it's the birthplace of MLK, and I get it, Selma and Birmingham and these places had their significance, but this is like, you know, the big city where
niggas ain't moving to Selma.
Right. Niggas aren't really moving to Birmingham like that. I mean,
yeah, I think that goes.
Unless you're a part of NASA. I think NASA's got a footprint in Birmingham, right?
Yeah, or you're at was it Alabama State?
Yes. I'll go to UAB.
But the thing about Atlanta, what makes Atlanta great is you have, and we've seen this with our classmates. You have people from all around the country come to the AUC for school, and then they end up working at Deloitte They end up working at Georgia Power. They end up doing grad school at Tech, this, that, and the third. They go to law school at Emory, and then they don't leave Atlanta.
Right.
And that's why Atlanta is what it is because of what I'm not saying it just because of the AUC, but the AUC is one of the reasons why Atlanta is the Black Mecca, because you have people from all over the country who come to these schools that don't even let 3,000 motherfuckers in. And then they stay and they start saying, God damn, you know what I'm saying?
Melting pot. Melting pot of Black culture. Like, that's the one thing I tell people all the time when I talk about my experience in Morehouse. I said, I didn't go out of town. Basically, I didn't go, out of state, out of town for school. I kind of stayed home. But like, the biggest thing was I really didn't, because 80% of the people around me were not from the state of Georgia. The 20% that were from the state of Georgia, they weren't all Metro Atlanta, Georgia kids. So it's like,
you got niggas from Cairo and shit.
Right. Black
like
shit.
me from Cartersville. I'm running into people from LA who know people at Morehouse. I grew up 45 minutes from Morehouse.
And not one nigga you could really name that came from Cartersville that went there.
Bro, it was one nigga. It was two niggas on campus from Cartersville. One was like in his 50s because he was like an assistant pastor at my church. So I knew him.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy who was in his mid-20s who was like another late ass student there. But like, he wasn't in my age bracket. So I didn't know him. I knew his ex-girlfriend. But she was much older than me. She was like 5 years older than me type shit. I just knew her because she went to my high school. My mom worked there. So like, that's how I know her. But then you meet niggas from LA and like their whole crew is coming to Morehouse. You're like, hold on, what?
Yeah, y'all niggas followed each other out here. Like
y'all didn't even make new friends until junior year.
Yeah, and like, but see, that's the crazy part too. I didn't really know anyone.
Nigga went to Mount Vernon. You was the only nigga in your class.
No. So funny enough, actually, there was somebody, he didn't graduate. I don't know if you know Kali, but
there's a lot of Kali's on that campus, man.
Kali went to Mount Vernon, but like, he got kicked out. So like, I mean, he didn't end up finishing technically. He got his senior year, he got kicked out. But like, but there were people even from Stevenson. Like, do you know Bobby?
No, I don't remember men that you don't know.
Everybody was over here for homecoming. Like, Bobby knew Zoe more. Like, he was at the wedding and everything. But Bobby went to Stevenson. And like,
I probably remember Bobby if I see his face. I remember the name as you say it, but like I don't remember it.
Because I want to say, I don't know how, I call him Big Bob's Beepers, but you know.
You need Big Bob's Beepers to come to Atlanta and run his franchise and stop talking to Steven Smith about basketball.
Yeah. In due time, Landry's gonna hang himself, and so
we can't say that he's black.
Okay.
Danny Ferry was our GM at one point.
All right, he's gonna go hang out at Lake Lanier. All right, is that better? Is that much better? That doesn't choose a race. You know, that happens to everybody. They just drown. Like, motherfuckers just drown out there. Julio Jones loses a $250,000 earring. Like, that's the type of stuff that happens out there.
Why do you have a $250,000 earring, dog?
On the lake, I have no idea.
Get a $50,000 earring, man. Oh no, you're Julio.
He's selling his house too.
Yeah, the nigga broke. He don't want to live here.
Yeah, he's selling his house.
I say he's broke, but he's not bringing in what he once did.
Yeah, well, his career
is
maybe
over.
He gets picked up again. Would you be mad if the Falcons took a flyer on him to be on the wide receiver room? Would you be mad at that?
I wouldn't be mad at him in the wide receiver room. I wouldn't be mad at him being the assistant receivers coach in the hopes that he stays on and starts his career as a coach. But he's made so much money that he's not going to do that. Because, you know, we gave him that 3 for 66. And he gave us three touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to he definitely got his money.
Hey, two more quick topics before we get out of here.
Okay.
Did you listen to Quavo and Kamala?
No.
Did you care about Quavo and Kamala?
What is it? What are they? Well,
They had a conversation about like gun violence, and apparently Quavo actually got a little vulnerable talking about takeoff's passing.
mm-hmm.
So, which makes it hard for me to be totally dismissive of this conversation because this is not a shot at Quavo and what happened to Takeoff. Like R.I.P. Lil Rocket. Like we're Migos fans, we love Takeoff.
Yeah.
But I am tired of Kamala coming to Atlanta. That motherfucker's in Atlanta every other week. Like, are you in Brian Kemp's guest house at the mansion? Like every time I'm like scrolling through Instagram, like the Atlanta blogs are like Kamala Harris coming to Atlanta this weekend. It's like,
yeah.
Are you pulling a Fonnie Willis over here? Are you
Right. Who are you fucking? You know, and it's just so interesting. Like, for instance, too, and I get it. You know, it's because Georgia has turned into this somewhat of a battleground state, right? Like, because it did flip blue last time.
It's goddamn melting pot.
Right, but think about it. But we all know it's because of Atlanta, because the rest of the state is red, right? Maybe it might be a little blue in like Savannah and Augusta.
So it's Atlanta, Savannah, Albany,
Macon,
and I think Macon and a little bit of Columbus.
Yeah, but
that's where a lot of black people are. Everywhere else in the state is like,
it's red as fuck.
Hey, it's getting dark. You need to get your ass up out of here.
And even in Atlanta, where it's Democratic, that shit is still like 60, 40, 55, 45. Because there still are plenty of like white Republican people that live in Atlanta too.
I mean, there's black Republican people in Atlanta like you.
That too, right? Exactly. There's that aspect of it too. So, which is why it's interesting that they're even going to have that debate here tomorrow. Like that they chose of all places, and I get it, CNN's headquartered here, but like
it's a battleground state.
Of all places, they're like, man, let's do that shit in Atlanta. Team USA's playing Panama tomorrow. Here, what are the chances that we get Team USA's fucking playing? Like, what is that all about? The Hawks got the number one pick. Atlanta's on top. God damn it.
Yeah, we got the number one pick in the number fucking 0 draft.
Hey, number one pick in the second worst draft of the last 25 years.
Like, hey man, you get the best Tootsie Roll that we fucking produce, nigga. Cotton candy sweet as gold. Let me see you Tootsie Roll ass Atlanta niggas.
Somebody had it's like this draft chart. But on average, the first pick of this draft, on average, would be about the 7th or 8th pick in any other draft.
Hey, real question for you. When have you woke up and wanted a Tootsie Roll? Like, nigga, I want chocolate or taffy. I don't want them mixed.
Yeah, those have always been nasty as fuck to me. I'll tell you the ones that I got, because, I like chocolate.
Flavor Tootsie Rolls are different.
I don't like those. You want to know what I like? The Tootsie Pop.
Oh, that's different.
How many licks does it take to get to center? Let's find out. A 1, a 2.
Yeah, they had a great marketing campaign, and you actually are getting a sucker with this nasty ass Tootsie Roll in the middle of it.
Exactly, but that was the point. The sucker was good.
I ain't got a problem with the sucker, but then like once that sucker gone, and I'm throwing that shit away.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot. Speaking of suckers, Matthew Stafford and his wife.
Oh. You know, I put something up on Twitter about that.
Okay, or excuse me, X.
Well, yeah, whatever, if that's what they want to call it. But it was basically in regards to, so somebody had memed it to, the Hot Tua girl, and like. They were basically like Matt Stafford's wife to Georgia's backup.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, my thought was that, why is she bringing this up? I was like, now look at what this has turned into. This man, made plenty of money.
Probably made well over $100 million.
Oh, man, well over like 300. He's had like $200 million contracts.
He's changed your life. She was a North Fulton chick. One of my partners knows her because he went to Centennial.
Okay.
And then, she goes off to UGA, becomes a cheerleader, and starts sucking quarterback cock. And my thing is, yo, I'm a married man. I'm pretty sure at some point early in our relationship, early in our like talking and shit, my wife did some things to make me jealous. Maybe I picked up on it, maybe I didn't. But whatever it may have been, that shit was probably handled. I mean, not probably. That shit was handled internally, whether it was internally between us or internally with ourselves, right? But I wish the fuck my wife would go on a podcast that actually gets attention. No, fuck that. I didn't even got to get attention. I wish my wife would go on a podcast and say, yeah, Adam was on some bullshit. So I started fucking with his young nigga who I don't even, who I already knew was a piece of shit just to make him jealous and be smiling talking about it. It's like, yo, you didn't respect yourself when you did that. But more importantly, I don't care if you don't respect yourself. I chose you. Now you're disrespecting me.
Right. You're coming back years later to, you're really, not only are you, because I have to imagine it's something that he already knew, that she had already had this shared the story with him. Now you're throwing it in my face, is what you're doing, and you're letting anybody else know about it.
Think about it. She said that like one day he saw my car out there. He waited for me to come out of old boy's room and hopped in my car and told me like he's not the one. So also Matt Stafford's a dirty Mac, hating ass nigga.
But if he had to ask first, and he's mad it was gone, it's just like, nah, you don't want to fuck with him. Like,
that's still dirty Mac.
It is. But I'm just saying. But if it was his first.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not saying I'm above.
What is the extent of the relationship?
I'm not saying I'm above it, but I'm also telling you I am entirely too prideful to go tell a woman, hey, you need to stop fucking him and come fuck me. And then turn around and marry her. And then 15 years later, she comes out and discloses this stuff to the world. If I decide to cuff her and marry her, I've gotten to the point to where I know I'm not going to see this nigga ever again. If I go back to UGA, I'm Kirby. Make sure that bitch ass nigga ain't there or I ain't coming. Mark, if he's there, I ain't coming. And ain't nobody coming to hear you, Otis.
Hey, and I know this is completely off topic, but it popped up on the screen. Why are the Knicks tied for the second best odds to win the NBA title?
Because they have a rabid fan base and Vegas knows that.
They're getting in. Okay, the early money is what's shifting that line.
Yeah,
it's tied with Denver to have the second best odds. Like,
yeah, it's just Vegasism because they know the Knicks fans are going to bet it, and they know they can't afford.
Got traded to the Cowboys today.
Yeah, like, you know, they can't afford to give the Knicks real odds. Like, the reason why Dallas gets like high Super Bowl odds or unfavorable Super Bowl odds is because they know they're going to get a bunch of tickets on them. And if Dallas actually wins the Super Bowl, they'd be fucked if they gave Dallas like middle of the pack odds that they probably deserve. Yeah. Same thing with the Knicks. That's all.
Yeah.
But no, dog, like, Matthew probably made up in his mind, hey, this is something that happened. Yeah, I did some suck ass shit, but you know what I'm saying? You got that hot Tua and I love it. You know, that pussy good. I ain't gonna lie. And all of that shit. But then for you to go tell the world this with a smile on your face, like you was reminiscing on that dick.
Right.
Like you remember how it made me feel, it had me feeling low. Matt must have been cheating. He got caught, man. That's all I got to say.
Well, but even at that point, because they said it was Joe Cox, right?
Yeah, Cox slinging cock.
Well, right. So think about it. But now, not only that, I don't know what Matt's relationship with Joe is at this point, but
nothing.
Well, right. Well, let's say that now somebody gets Joe on an SEC podcast. They ask him about it. And then he's like, hell yeah, I slutted that bitch. Now you got something like that potentially. Because any and everybody will take advantage of a situation, especially gets clicks, then people want to pay them to, I don't know, talk about it. Like, I don't know. You just opened up this can of worms in the offseason. It's just like, this is like one of the last things I need. Stetson's back sober, you know. they might not be trying to re-up my deal. That Super Bowl deal is it's starting to fade away. Maybe they don't want to pay me.
And more importantly, hey, Shorty, I changed your life. You may have came from good family, good money. You ain't come from 200-300 M's. And you gonna embarrass me like this?
Bitch, your great-grandchild is already straight.
Like, fuck you telling the story with your homegirls over wine and I find out about it and I'm pissed. Now, you telling this on a podcast so the world can talk about it? Yeah, Matt got caught cheating in the offseason. That's all. That's all it was. Matt got caught cheating.
You think she was just making sure, letting him know, hey, I still wear the pants in this relationship?
Nah, not that I still wear the pants in the relationship, but I can take mine off at any point in time and somebody gonna touch this cat. So stop playing with me.
And you're gonna always be upset about it.
Yeah, like listening to the commentary around it, especially from like the black media sources, I don't think they really like dug into why she would say it. They just dug into that she said and how disrespectful it is. Totally disrespectful.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, if my wife did some nut ass shit like that, we're gonna have a long talk. A long ass talk. It's not even about you doing it. Cause nigga, I know you did it. This ain't news to me. It's the fact you fucking talking about it, embarrassing me. I mean, I had looking like a fucking chump.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, Matt was bullshitting because women are great. Women are excellent. But women don't just go out there and try to hurt you unless they got a reason. Unless they want something, unless you done something.
And you knew that Matt was out there. He was out there piping down some LA hotties. And she got wind of it. And then she was like, oh, okay, bet.
I don't even know if she got wind of it. She probably raided that nigga phone and saw the text because that nigga's just like, yo, my wife ain't going through my shit, nigga. I don't need the burner.
All right. I got 3 kids with her. She not leaving this.
I mean, what she got 3 kids. Where the fuck she gonna go? What she gonna find? Ain't no 300 mil nigga gonna goddamn take care of her like this. Come on now, let's be honest.
Right.
Hey man, shout out to the Staffords, man. Hope y'all get that shit worked out. If not, give me more content so I can talk about it. The real last thing. Did you watch the Who Killed WCW doc?
I have not watched it. I've seen it pop up on YouTube for Vice. Is it good? How many is it now? Well, and then this was another thing. Is it multiple parts or is it just one thing?
It's 4 parts.
Okay, but they're all like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. So
you watch it?
I watched part 4 today. I watched one like 2 weeks ago, but I fell asleep on it. So I watched 1 through 3 over the weekend, and I watched 4 today. It's really good. I'm not gonna talk about it because I'm gonna wait for you to go watch it.
I gotta watch it too, yeah. Because obviously grew up. I mean, I watched WWF growing up, but like more so grew up watching WCW actually. Like,
I mean, yeah, bro.
I watched WCW a little bit more than WWF growing up.
Bro, we're Southern boys, man.
There's that, and then to me, and I love No Mercy on N64, but like Revenge and World Tour, best wrestling games. Like, yeah, those games were great.
And now the WWE games, since they've gone to 2K, are terrible.
I tell you what, and you can tell me this much at least from it. Who do you think ruined WCW? Who do you think it does deserve the blame? Because even without seeing the doc, you kind of know. I knew the ins and outs of like Vince Russo taking over and like sabotaging like the fucking writing.
the suits at AOL Time Warner, once they made the merger and Ted Turner no longer had a vote, it died because Ted Turner, it was a passion project for Ted. It wasn't a money project for Ted. And the suits were TV people. They cared about cinema, these type of niggas that like La La Land and not fucking Avengers. And they had an idea for what they wanted the network to be, so they made sure they could make the network work in the way that they wanted to. It wasn't just about ratings. It's like anybody with the ego. I don't want to get it right. I want to get it right my way.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was. And a little bit, I think that Hulk Hogan had too much influence with Bischoff because of the contract that he was given.
Yeah.
I think that hurt because that created division in the locker room, and it allowed somebody like Vince Russo to come in and like get with guys. And it was just a bunch. It was a lot of shit. And then Vince McMahon did not help because when he was buying those guys out, he was offering them 50 cents on a dollar. So they're like, no, I can just sit at home until my contract ends.
Yeah, the top guys, like the NWO.
Yeah, so like if
They only
Vince,
got certain guys. They got like Booker T, DDP.
yeah, but it worked out for Booker T. Like Booker T was like, I'm a mid card guy. I need to go to WCW. I need to go to WWE and wrestle to keep my title, to build a name for myself. So it makes
Get
sense.
established here too.
So it made sense for him. But if they actually would have paid them 110 on the dollar for the short term, and again, I'm not looking at the books. I don't know what the ratings were. Obviously, Vince didn't need to do it because most of these niggas came groveling back to him after their buyout. If he could have,
was like the only one that
Sting didn't come to like 2013, 2014. Nigga, we were in college.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He was Sting's career, even though I know he just retired, Sting's career has been over for 20 years. I mean, so once he didn't make the move initially, like, you know, his career was over.
If Vince could have brought the talent in, I think that WCW could have stayed alive as like SmackDown. It could have been like Raw is WWE and SmackDown's WCW, and you pick and choose your crossover. And then there's a lot of things that could have been done, but without knowing the money behind it. I'm only speaking theoretically. I can't speak to like actually good business, but it was a clusterfuck, man.
What it is they didn't get the invasion part right. Like
they couldn't
and I remember watching that. Like
me too.
I believe they couldn't because they didn't have all the guys' contracts, right? Because we didn't get you know, EX versus NWO clash. Oh, God. Right? Like in their primes.
We didn't get Sting versus fucking Stone Cold or Undertaker. We didn't get Kevin Nash versus Undertaker when we wanted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I know we got Hogan Rock, but like some people would argue they really wanted to see Stone Cold Hogan, right?
Stone Cold didn't want to do it with Hogan. I listened to because of the content drought, I've been listening to a lot of wrestling podcasts. Good old JR.
He keeps going into the hospital.
Like JR definitely votes Republican.
Yeah, well, he's got his own barbecue sauce, doesn't he?
Probably. But like I've been listening to him on a podcast, and I've been listening to Eric Bischoff on podcast. And yeah, no, Stone Cold didn't want to wrestle Hogan. He was just like, I don't think our styles work, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't know. It's been a nice piece of nostalgia. I'm a Peacock guy, so like I've been going back and watching random pay-per-views, random like
that is like the best part of Peacock.
Oh yeah, the best part of Peacock, fuck The Office, is that you have the entire wrestling
history, nigga.
Yeah, like when we leave here, I'm gonna go in the house, take a shower, plop into bed, probably wake my wife up, piss her off because I'm getting into bed at fucking 2:00 on a Wednesday. And I'm gonna watch wrestling.
Well, and here's the crazy part: it's wrestling that you don't even care about. Like, you can watch the first WrestleMania if you want it. Like, isn't that interesting? You can watch the first WrestleMania. Like I have no interest in it, but it's the fact that it's like, I can watch, or WrestleMania 3, I can watch Hogan, Andre Giant, like, because it's just at my disposal for $3.99 a month. You know, like.
Oh, speaking of which, Maven does a podcast.
Yeah, so
good YouTube clips.
Yes, no. I love his breakdown of shit.
Yeah, I meant to send
through inside.
I meant to send some to you this weekend just because I know you're a wrestling guy and talk about it, but no, like I was never a Maven fan, but his breakdowns are really fucking good.
Yeah. And I just always was curious too how that worked. Because it's like, you know what? There is a Monday Night Raw every week. When do these guys get the fucking time off? Like,
Yeah, they get like 4 days off. They work 3 days off, 4 days. And if you're being honest,
and then he said, like, depending on where you live, like, that makes like a big difference. Like in the shit, like, yeah.
you know, it sounds like the perfect balance between NFL and NBA life without the health benefits.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're not nearly making as much money.
No, but it's like I can be at home and be a family man like 3 days a week, 4 days a week. And then the other days a week, I can like go rage.
Like he said he fought at WrestleMania and he was like, obviously, you know, flagship pay-per-view for the company. And he was like, I got like, I forgot what the dollar amount, but he was basically like, even for me, I said, I'm a lower card guy at this WrestleMania. He said, but we got paid like 35,000, 40,000 for our match, which he said at the time was like great. Like you make that in one night, one pay-per-view. He said, you know, you still get paid your weekly Raw stuff, but like, yeah, he broke it down.
It's talking about the contracts. It's why the Kevin Nash and Scott Halls didn't come over. They were the 7-figure guys. It's like, nigga, I'm making over $1 million sitting at home. Fuck you, Vince.
Yeah,
I need 3 to get off my couch.
right.
like, just think about it. Hold on. So you want me to come work for 500,000 when I can sit on my couch and make $1 million? And my wife hates me because I have.
And I think that with those contracts too, it's similar to they almost like offset. So whatever you make from that cuts out.
Yeah.
Kind of like how coaches are.
Exactly. That's why, you know, Monty Williams isn't coaching the best.
On his ass. Or worst case, he'll do a Russell Wilson and he'll be like, man, just pay me $1 million a year.
Yeah. Anyways, Parlay Pete, man, it's 1:30. It's been a good 3 hours with you, man. Happy to have you back.
Yeah.
We'll do this again in a couple weeks. We'll start figuring out the schedule.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
This is the off season. It's
and then what next week? Is next week today the 4th of July?
Yeah.
And you got that. And then I know you're getting ready to do your move.
Free agency, NBA free agency does start on the 30th, so
we'll get something figured out.
Yeah. All right, dog.
Okay. All right, brother. Cuddle with your wife.
Yep.
All right.